Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today we are at Land Rover of Shreveport. This is the 2023 Land Rover Defender X. Obviously this is the 110. We will have a 130 for you here in the near future with that new long wheelbase, larger than ever Land Rover Defender. So I'm going to let Carrie give you a quick walk around here of this Gondwana Stone Metallic. That's the exterior color here. Let me get out of his way so he can give you a quick walk around. And I'll tell you what's new for 2023. The Defender lineup is trimmed down to make ordering easier. Obviously the Defender 130 debuts, I told you about that already. And we also have the new synthetic leather upholstery that debuts. So this model has strong off-road capabilities no matter what people say in the comments section who have never owned one. There's also a wealth of customization options available, high-tech safety and off-road features, and a smooth ride quality for an off-road oriented vehicle. I can't wait to see what the comments section says from people saying it's not really off-road capable, but yeah, it actually is. For those of you who actually own one, you know that. So let's take a look at exactly what we have here. If you like the gloss black, you've got quite a bit of that kind of separating things out here on the hood. The Defender logo, it's in raised lettering. Tell me what you think about that. Do you think that should be something that's sunk in, or maybe some kind of a different finish than what it has right there? Gonna have our Land Rover Defender or Land Rover logo, kind of confusing my words there. Defender is not part of that. The Land Rover logo right there. Now since we're shooting inside, I'm not starting the engine so I can't show you the headlights turned on right here, but you can see that they're there. But I do like the bright turn signal indicators right here. It's one reason why you want to use your blinkers when you're driving down the road, right? And then down here on the bottom, you're also going to have the fog lights and a lot more gloss black here with the overall design of the front grille right here. Now something that's very interesting, you might notice, you know there's tow hooks on the rear, but you see no tow hooks here on the front. There's actually one right down here. I'll let Carrie give you a good look at that. That thing is monstrous. It is strong. You try and pull on that, you know nothing's giving there. It's very sturdy, very well made. Now real quick, just because I know so many of you ask the question, are there turn signal indicators built into these power heated side view mirrors? Yes, there are. Very nicely done, very large, very tasteful. They fit extremely well, and they are power folding as well. Now, one thing you might notice that's a little bit different here, that's part of that off-road package and capability, is right here. So when you get the water up higher on the vehicle, the exhaust can still do its thing, because obviously if you can't have exhaust coming out, that will actually stall the engine out. That's why if you're ever driving through high waters in your vehicle, when it floods in your city, make sure you keep pressure on the gas pedal so your engine doesn't die. One thing before we open the hood that I think is interesting here, you have this kind of a decorative design almost here, almost looks like diamond plate, but it looks almost like a place that you would walk on. I'm not recommending that, but you never know. Somebody's kid might now go out in the driveway and jump on the hood of the Land Rover, get themselves in trouble, and just, the Vehicle Visionary guy told me to do it. Okay, let's talk about what's under the hood here. And you can tell it's a 6-cylinder. You know how? Let me show you right here. These little lines right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that represents that it's a 6-cylinder. It's a 3-liter 6-cylinder. It makes 395 horsepower and 406 foot-pounds of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And it also is 4-wheel drive. And how about MPGs? 18 city, 23 highway, 20 combined, and 5 gallons of gas is what Land Rover says you should use for every 100 miles you drive. And for those of you who watch me regularly, you should know I'm very happy to see, especially at this price point, that you have the hydraulic struts to open the hood. You don't have to waste your time looking around for that rod to put in place and manually hold the hood up when you go to Cars and Coffee or whatever it is that you go to and you want to show off what's under the hood. Okay, and let's talk tire and wheel size. 275 around, 45 series sidewall, which is still pretty meaty. It gives it a good, comfortable ride quality. Now, this model does come with 20-inch wheels, or you can upgrade to the 22-inch wheels right here. You have the Defender logo on all 4 rims right down here. And here is something interesting. Notice the red brake calipers right there. That looks nice. if you want the chance to win a Vehicle Visionary t-shirt, tell me down in the comments section, what does it mean when the front brake calipers are blue? Now, if you say to yourself, well, maybe this is a little bit high to get into, it's not that bad. I think I could hop into here pretty easily, but you do have the side steps right here on all four corners, obviously, or all four doors. And while the door is open, let me have Carrie show you the lighted door sill right here with that Defender logo. It's only on the front doors though. You don't have it on the rear. Tell me what you think about that. Should it be on the rear? And something else, very handy, especially if you're going off-roading, depending on what you're doing, very nice cargo rack up here. You could put a lot up there. You could put the unruly kids up there. You could put your luggage up there. If Aunt Edna is being unruly, you can put her up there. If you don't get what I'm saying about that, just Google it, because that means there's a movie you haven't seen. And you will find a full-size spare tire here, so if anything ever comes up where you need to change a tire, you don't have to worry about that little donut. It is here. You can take that cover off. Some people like the way that looks. It is what it is. The classic look with your rear tail lights and reverse lights here, kind of giving that still that old school look and feel of the Defender. And you do have the more typical and easy to find recovery hooks back here in kind of a bright red orange color. Now here's something that's interesting. We're not going to show you that this is a 3-row. We're not going to raise that third row because, as you can see right here, this says do not bend. I don't want this to be our last video here at Land Rover of Shreveport, so we're going to leave that there. But I'm going to let Carrie show you as best as he can. I've got a couple of switches right here, or buttons, that allow me to raise and lower the height of this Defender. So we're going to show you that in real time real quick. Let me let him get in place there, and I will hold the button down and let you see how quickly that lowers. It does lower pretty quickly, and then we'll raise it back up here. Let's see if we can get that to work. There we go. I don't know if you can hear that very well. There we go. Now we're going up. It seems to only go up in little increments, but anyway, one way or another. I'll let Carrie give you a little bit of a look back here, and I'll give you the cargo capacity numbers, 34 cubic feet up to 78.8. And here's something impressive. Max towing capacity, when properly equipped, is 8,201 pounds. That's better than some full-size SUVs such as the Tahoes, the Suburbans, and others. You can see that this one does have the towing package by the fact that it has the hitch receiver down here. And right up here, you've got some space for whatever you want to store right there. And then in this area, it's probably a lot easier to show than it is to tell, because this is a little bit tricky. But if you wonder what's in here, if you've never seen this before, well, it's basically one of those little triangles that you use out on the road. And since it's in the plastic, I can't unfold it and show you, but it's a triangle that reflects. And I already know what kind of comments I'm going to get about that from those of you who say Land Rovers are not dependable, but you know what? That's okay, because that always seems to come from people who don't own a Land Rover. And here, a little bit more storage space. The side-mounted equipment box, you can take this and open it up. It stays in place, and there is a decent amount of space in there, rather deep. You also have the area right here where if there's something you don't want moving around, you want to keep it in place, well, you can put it inside of that little area with the net material. And when you put it down, don't worry about, all you do is you basically put the key in. This is a little bit tricky if you haven't done it before. So all you're going to do is open it like that, open it, and then just bring the key back to its original position. And then when you close it, you'll hear it snap in place. Now, tell me down in the comments section what you think. Do you like having it just this kind of almost looks like a briefcase? Or would you want to have that wrapped, maybe the body color or something else? All right, here we are. This is the vintage tan interior. And as we already showed you, I'm not going to lower both sides here, but obviously you can lower these down to maximize your cargo capabilities. I'm not going to lower everything all the way, but you can move the seats back to make it easier to gain access to the rear seating area if we didn't have something we can't bend back there. So I'm going to move that back out of the way, but here's one thing that helps to show. You can move these seats back and forth. There's a lever underneath that allows for that. So to increase rear leg space for those third row passengers, well, you can do that. It helps a lot. And then looking at the door bin, I'll let Carrie show you that. You have a pretty deep kind of a bottle holder more than a door bin right there, but it is there. Very nice looking. You have some exposed screws right here. It kind of gives it a better, more off-road looking theme, kind of makes it look more rugged, I guess you could say. And then if you want to, you can recline these back, so hopefully you can see that on the screen because I'm trying to, again, not damage that. But bring that back, bring that forward. Got the map pockets on the back of the seats. More of that net material than anything else. And then back here, you're going to have all of the controls for the air conditioning. You've got heated seats, and then obviously your fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. Okay, and a couple of extras here. Obviously the panoramic sunroof right here. And when you're out, depending on where you are, I mean, heck, you can be driving around a big city and whatever. But you've got the nice large panoramic sunroof where you can look up and see different things. You also have what are called the safari windows back here. I'll let Carrie show you that on the screen as best as we can. That really is probably better for your rear seat passengers in that third row, but they are there. You can see out of those pretty well. It would be interesting to see Land Rover bring some up maybe into this area right here so the middle row passengers could take advantage of that too. Also going to have the grab handles right here in case someone's driving spiritedly or maybe just on the off-roading rough terrain. And a couple of the goodies that come with this Defender. You'll notice that you need to scan the QR code to set up your account, but we'll go ahead and show that. I feel like I'm on QVC or something like that, or whatever the channels are these days. But here is your Smart Key Loss Protection Kit. So let me show you what's in there. There you go. You can kind of see what's all there and how to set things up. Makes it pretty easy, but that's not all that you get. You also get this nice large kit. There's actually some weight to it right here to protect all the surfaces of your vehicle. So there's a bunch of chemicals in here and whatever to protect the exterior and interior things you can wipe and clean with, or if you have someone you hire to do that, well, that's what is in here for them to use to make sure that your Defender keeps its brand new look. All right, here we are in the front seat, the main command center of the Defender. I'll let Carrie start out with the passenger side door panel right there. You see those exposed screws again. It's pretty basic to a degree because it's meant to be durable. It's meant to be able to handle getting dirty, basically. Still a large door bin there, but one thing I really like here, number one, you have a handle right here for the passenger to hold on rough terrain or whatever the case may be. If they're getting nervous, maybe if you're out mountain climbing or something like that and it's kind of scary, they can hold on in fear, you know, whatever the case is. And then right here, it says Defender right there, but you could put a phone right here, multiple phones or whatever you can get to fit right there. I like that. And you see that opening right there. Well, that's a good segue to the pass-through that's right here. That goes all the way through, quite a bit of space. You can put, well, whatever you want to put in there. Something that's interesting here, and I'll let Carrie show you here in just a second when he gets up to it. Right here, this is for covering and concealing away the cup holders. It would be kind of neat if Land Rover engineers set things up where if you wanted to, you could put it right there and it would just stay in place. You could almost use that as an extra place to keep that. Well, let's see, does it fit? It actually does fit. I think it's meant to do that. So they did actually do that. It seems to fit and be pretty snug. So I didn't think that was going to work. Apparently the engineers beat me to it. So there we go. So I'll let Carrie go ahead and hop on inside here. And we'll start going over a few things that you can find. We'll show you the instrument cluster here. A nice digital instrument cluster, looks good and modern. You can see what's going on with the vehicle, and with the four-wheel drive system that these Land Rovers have, it's really better than even the greatest Jeep out there. Because if one tire loses traction, the power goes completely away from that and goes to the other tires. And here's the big advantage of that. You might think, well, why do I need that if I'm not going to be driving off-road? When you're driving in the rain or the snow wherever you live, well, that's going to be beneficial. So we'll go on to the steering wheel here and show you what the steering wheel mounted controls look like. Pretty easy to figure out what all is there. You've got your adaptive cruise control. All that kind of stuff is here. And then over here, pretty easy to figure out. If you want to go through different information on the dashboard and look at what's going on with the vehicle, you can. You have quite a bit. There is a heads-up display, just in case you were wondering, as you can see right there, and then voice commands, all that good stuff is there. And moving on to really one of my favorite areas of the vehicle, the Pivi Pro infotainment system, chocked full of so much information with your navigation. It will help you out in so many different ways. Super simple to use. Everything here, very nice. A lot of information about the vehicle available, as you can see, starting right here. If you're using wade sensing mode, well, you can see what the vehicle is doing in the water. You have a valet mode right there. You have vehicle dimensions so that you can know, depending on where you're going, if you have enough space to get through. That's nice to have. You might not think about that until you need it, but here's something that I really like here. Let's go to cameras right here. Now, I am a little surprised that this screen isn't taken up by more of this image of the vehicle from what the cameras are showing, but it is what it is. But I just love the 360-degree surround view cameras here, and the fact that you can see all around the vehicle. If you don't have to be off-roading to use this, although it could come in handy in a place like that. But if you have those unruly city drivers who park too close to you and you're trying to figure out, oh man, I don't want to damage my $102,000 Land Rover running into these people's vehicles who can't drive around me, well, now you can easily see what's there. And here's the cool thing. You have the off-road camera, so that's going to show you what's going on in front of you. And I told you earlier, you can tow over 8,000 pounds. Well, there's your towing camera. Makes backing up to the trailer easier than ever. Obviously, you have your overhead view there as well. So a lot going on with the vehicle. And then we can go over here to settings and show you what's there also. If you want to turn the auto brake hold off, well, there you go. And depending on how bright you want the screen, there you go with that. Very easy. Then you can go over here. Depending on what you want on the screen, it's pretty easy to figure out what you have there. If you want audio and you want to change things and set things up, and then you can go to all right here. You have a lot of different information you can scroll through if you want to go in and make changes to the vehicle. I'll show you what all is there, as you can see. So there's a lot of options here. You've got general, language, apps, all that good stuff is there, even notifications. And then moving down here, I know it's a little bit bright, but you can see you've got your button here for starting and shutting down the engine. Kind of a unique sort of shifter right here. Pretty easy to use though, pretty easy to figure out. Depending on what you're used to, that might take a little more getting used to, but it's an interesting location. Do you like that? What do you think about it? Tell me down in the comments section. And obviously all the controls here for the air conditioning, for fan speed, and if you push on that, even for controlling the ventilated or heated seats, depending on what you need. Right now, I think we're kind of at a neutral position where we really don't need anything here. It's actually turning out to be a nice day here in Northwest Louisiana. And your multitasking lid for the armrest here and console lid, so it doubles as both. You also have the refrigerator, or console refrigerator right here. You almost don't need that here overnight because it's going to be in the low 30s here in Northwest Louisiana in October. That's unusual. Here's how you turn that on, in fact. If you just want to use it for storage, well, make sure that you don't have those blue lights on right there. Let me put this back in here and we'll show you. If you're wondering, you probably already see it right there. Let me just get this out of the way. I think I can get my phone to fit in there. There we go. That is wireless charging. Let's see if it'll come on. There we go. And so basically, that's what you have within the interior. Real quick, I want to cover one thing. You do have the cold climate package here. So what is that? That means you've got the heated front windshield, the heated windshield washer fluid, basically the heated jets to put that washer fluid through. You've got the heated steering wheel and the washers for the front headlights as well. So tell me down in the comments section, do you think the 2023 Land Rover Defender X is the ultimate defender of all of the available models? Tell me what your answer is and tell me why. Got to say a special thanks to my friends here at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning us this model for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you want to know more about other vehicles you might want to purchase, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.